Hello, my name's Lynn McVeigh and I work in the Improvement Science team of the Yorkshire and Humber Applied Research Collaboration. I'm going to talk to you now about using rapid qualitative methods in your research, evaluation or quality improvement projects. First of all, a summary of what we'll cover in this snapshot. We'll start by considering why we might want to use rapid qualitative methods, before looking at what these methods include. We'll then focus on one aspect, using rapid qualitative methods in data analysis. I'll share an example of a rapid project I undertook so you can see how it worked, and we'll end with some take-home tips. So, why might we want to use rapid approaches? Well, qualitative methods can offer a powerful tool to explore people's experiences and beliefs in research as well as improvement or evaluation projects. But these methods can take a long time, which can be challenging in health and social care, where we need fast translation of findings into practice. If we simply shortcut traditional qualitative methods to speed things up, we risk diluting the richness and rigour that's so important in qualitative work. Rapid qualitative methods provide an alternative, robust way to streamline things. If you'd like to use rapid qualitative methods, you'll need to know what they involve. Well, the first thing to say about them is that they're rapid, of course, and tend to take just weeks or months, depending on how big your project is. There are many different ways to use them. There are rapid approaches to research, such as rapid ethnography, and they can also be used for quick and robust evaluations and quality improvement projects, for example, when evaluating a new service. There are also rapid ways to analyse qualitative data, which I'll say more about in a moment. Next, they can be used flexibly. You might, for example, want to undertake some initial rapid work to inform a bigger project, or you might take a wholly rapid approach throughout an entire project. It really depends on your needs. Finally, these methods are iterative in that each stage feeds the next, making them efficient. Data collection and analysis, for example, proceed in parallel so that emerging findings shape and refine data collection, as we will see. Now let's look in a bit more detail at one way you can use rapid methods during qualitative data analysis. RAP sheets, which stands for Rapid Assessment Procedure Sheets, are a helpful tool you can use to summarise and begin to interpret data very soon after you've collected it. The Rapid Research Evaluation and Appraisal Lab, experts in rapid methods, suggest you might want to use one RAP sheet per researcher, evaluator, site, population or study stage. So let's imagine you're using a RAP sheet to summarise data that you're collecting from a study site. There's a brief example on the left of the screen. The first column lists all the topic areas that you're looking at, linked back to your research questions or project aims. You'll then have a column for each person or participant that you're talking to in that site. Here you can see they're called person 1, 2 and 3. When talking to each participant, you'll make notes of what you discussed and record the discussion, just as in traditional qualitative practice. But instead of having to transcribe the discussion before starting the analysis, soon after you talk to the participant, you'll review your notes and listen carefully to the recording. Then, in each row, you'll summarise what the participant said about that point. We've represented this as ticks in the example here, but you'd include brief notes. In this way, you're organising and analysing the data as you go, and as you talk to more and more participants, you'll start to see similarities and differences, and you might also see gaps in the data. In our example, we're starting to see a gap emerging in topic area 2. Knowing this at an early stage, you can try to fill those gaps in subsequent data collection. The Real Lab provides guidance about RAP sheets on their helpful website, which is linked in the resources for this video. Here's an example from my own team, where we used rapid qualitative methods to analyse information collected when consulting stakeholders about taking care home residents urgently to hospital. We started with separate sheets for each data collection episode. You can see an abbreviated example on the right. The full one has more rows. In the left-hand column of the RAP sheet, we listed different broad topic areas linked back to our project aims, just as in the previous example. To make sure we weren't focusing only on our own preconceived ideas about topics, we included some more open areas here. For example, we started by briefly summarising the whole discussion with a stakeholder, and we also included a field to record anything else that wasn't already covered in the topic areas. We found this was a useful way to make sure we didn't cherry pick only those things that agreed with our existing thoughts on a topic. Another way to assure the quality of your work when using these methods is to include some direct quotations from the people in your project as well as summarised data. We did, and it gave depth to our work and ensured it was firmly grounded in the evidence. We then developed the broad topic areas on the individual rap sheets into themes that applied across the project. Several members of our team were involved to make sure that the preconceptions of any one person didn't skew our analysis. Each team member reviewed a few individual rap sheets to identify themes. We compared these and agreed a common set. These common themes then became the first column in overarching frameworks, one per study site. In the subsequent columns, we summarised evidence for the themes from each stakeholder in that site, as in the example here. Whilst these were brief, we included some short quotations from stakeholders so their own voices could still be heard clearly. You can see here that this process enabled us to identify themes relating, for example, to communication and innovation as priorities for future work. In this way, the frameworks enabled us to study patterns across the data. We documented these in narratives that encapsulated briefly each theme across all sites and formed the basis of our final report. Including quotations from stakeholders in our individual rap sheets and analysis frameworks meant we could easily use these in the final report, which really brought it alive. There are more ideas about how to undertake rapid analysis of qualitative data in the resources for this video. So, in conclusion, we've seen that rapid qualitative methods can promote faster translation of findings into practice, adapting flexibly to meet your needs. And they do this without sacrificing the richness and rigour that's at the heart of qualitative work. Rapid methods complement rather than replace traditional qualitative approaches. Whether they're right for you depends on the work you're carrying out, but if they fit, they can provide an efficient yet in-depth way of carrying out your qualitative projects. Thank you.